Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to try this again. I'm having a bunch of technical difficulties, but I think I've got this figured out now. So today, Jure Pearson here. I am a holistic health and women's empowerment coach. And sorry about the background noise. It's really hot and my office doesn't have air conditioning, and so I've got the air conditioning blowing with a fan in here. So sorry about that. Today is episode number 3. I'm going to be talking with Leslie Klatt as soon as, I don't know, I hope she's hopping on here any second. We're going to be talking about how to find your flow in life and business. She is an amazing entrepreneur coach, and she's also the founder of the creator of the Lavish Life Planner, which is this amazing daily planner that covers all sorts of different stuff, and I'll let her talk a little bit about that in a bit. Leslie, let me see if I can find you. Are you on? Let me see here. Okay, let me invite her on and see if that works. Okay. Always a bit of technical stuff at the beginning, so we'll see how that goes. So today, all about flow in business. If you are not an entrepreneur in the online space, but might be interested in that, this is a good video for you to watch, as well as if you are already an entrepreneur in the online space. We're going to be talking kind of about it can be pretty chaotic, and we are sort of can be a breed of our own at times, and so she's going to walk us through some of that. Let me see if she's Hi, Rachel. Hi, long time, lady. Hi, Jeremy. We're just waiting for Leslie to hop on. We've had some technical difficulties, so we're doing our best right now to sort of get going on this. It'll be worth it, though. Where are you at? Leslie, are you with us? Hi, Stephanie. Let me try and invite her again. She's having technical difficulties as well. Okay, Leslie, if you can hear me, I'm going to type it to you too, but it's showing me that you're invited on, so... We'll get there one of these days, but this is going to be a good one, so if you stick with me, then I appreciate it. We'll see what we can do. Between her and I, we are quite a mess with our laptops right now. I need a new laptop, so I'm on my phone right now doing this, and she just got a new laptop. Hi, Leslie! Are you able to join? So between the two of us, we were just chatting. Awesome. Here she comes. Okay, so we're chatting about the silliness of the laptop situation. So, all right, we should be, it says that it's adding you, Leslie, so you should be hopping on any second. Leslie and I also both have some free stuff, some free programs and whatnot. I'm not exactly sure. I didn't touch too much base with Leslie on what she's got what offer she has going, but she will tell you about those as well. And then I do also. It keeps, so I don't know what's going on. It says, oh, there it goes.
I'm here.
Oh, it worked. I knew I'd get to see your face eventually. Awesome.
Here, let me fix this angle.
Yay.
Everything's crazy. Oh well.
Oh, I'm so happy to see
Okay. Don't touch. All right.
Awesome. No
Hello.
touch. Okay, so why don't you? So this is Leslie Klatt. She's a friend of mine and a fellow coach on in the online space. Um, oh, hold on, I've got back feed. Hold on. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so make sure I'm not getting too many things going at one time. So, Leslie is, like I was saying, a coach to entrepreneurs. Oh, okay, this is not working. I don't know. Oh, it's okay. I'll just shut that down. So Leslie, sorry, girl. So tell me a little bit about what you do and what your latest creation was, because that's pretty exciting. So tell us a little bit about that.
Latest creation. Oh my God. I feel like I'm constantly creating. Rianne, Angela, what's up? All
I'm
our
talking
pals
about the big one, the planner.
shameless planner plug. Of course,
Yay!
yay. Okay, so this is my creation, my physical creation. This planner is like one of my favorite things in the world, and it sounds so dorky, and it's funny because a lot of us who are in business and a lot of us who are into like holistic stuff and nature, and we're all about like going with the flow and being creative because we're creating courses, we're creating videos, all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people feel like because they're creative, they can't plan things. Like you don't want one of these and you don't want to write stuff down and hold yourself to a schedule or routines and stuff. But let me tell you something. I started the planner thing. Okay, first of all, like I have an education in business and I'm certified project manager. So like documenting stuff is kind of what I've been trained to do. But I just put it down. When you
You're an
can,
organizational genius, right?
yeah, that's all I am. Um,
That's all.
but no, if when you can write stuff down and see all the stuff that you have going on, all the stuff that you have to do just to survive on Earth, like just to live here, um, then you can actually make sure it gets done, right? So then you don't feel so much like you are constantly chasing your tail and like you are constantly behind on everything that you need to do. You'll be able to see it and stay on top of it. And you're not relying so much on your brain. And because your brain will fail you time and time again. But when you can write stuff down in a spot, like in a big book that you're not going to lose, then you can just flip to the next day and be like, oh, I have to do these things so that I can keep my sanity. Oh, I have to
So
do these things.
you mean
What's
as
that?
opposed to my 18 notebooks that I just
Yeah.
jot something down on and then have them in a stack or whatever? Yeah, that sounds pretty smart.
Yeah. And you know what though? I was right there. And that's how I started designing planners. Like it wasn't spoiler alert, it wasn't my lifelong dream to design planners. That wasn't my thing.
Right.
And it was my thing to be organized and to have time to like live life and do the things we want. We built our house 4 years ago. We started building it 4 years ago. We moved in 3 years ago. And we live in the mountains and we have horses in the back. I have two kids now and my husband works away. So it's like I could spend all of my time trying to clean the house, trying to catch up, trying to run a business, or I could just do those things, get those things done so that I can go hiking, so I can go chill out by the river, so that I can, hang out with the horses or go like splash my kids in the water trough and other things that I do as a parent. But so
Well,
what
exactly, which
happened?
is really, why we're entrepreneurs from home, right? I mean, that's why, so that we can do all of those things, but
Yeah.
we end up like working harder than we need to because we're missing some of the organization. So I think that it's genius, and I love this book. You guys need to see the inside of it and stuff. It's beautiful. You did an amazing job. It covers everything you can think of. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
what
Let me
is
just stare
run
at
us
it for a
run
minute.
us through some of it, like just some of the things that, or because you have different stuff in there than I've seen in other planners, and I love planners, so I am the one going through, scouring through for the perfect one at the store or whatever.
Yeah.
Even though I don't necessarily, I collect them, doesn't mean I use them. Um,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm working on right now. But so what do you have in there?
Um, well, let me like I have pretty much everything. Pretty much everything that you need. And that was my thing when I designed my first ever planner. Um, was I was sick of having all of the notebooks. And I had 3 planners on the go. One of them that cost like over $100. And it just didn't work. I used it for I used 2 weeks out of the entire year. And it wasn't 2 consecutive weeks. And I think I filled out the weeks and then I didn't use it. Like I had the plan in place, but then it was just like chaos. And
I totally relate.
yeah, so it was like then I had a one planner kind of thing for horses because we have horses, one thing for like my life, one thing for trying to like keep track of my business because I was running my own businesses then too, and it was just like everything was everywhere, and then I'd use one planner for something else that it wasn't supposed to be used for, and one book, like it was messy. And so it's like all the planners that I had that were supposed to make my life good were making my life more chaotic. So I put everything in here and like straight up everything. So I'll flip to a page I haven't filled out yet so that you don't see all my business. But
Come on.
come on. So I'll just kind of run you through, and it goes hand in hand because I help people. Anyone who buys the planner is in my group, like an exclusive kind of group where I help people. Every Sunday, we're going to have setup Sundays. We're going to work through what people have on their plate, and I'll help you schedule things out so that'll make sense to
Wow.
you. And with that accountability, it will make sure that you're actually using it and using it properly and getting the results that you want in your life. So I'll just run through like the weekly spread. This is just one page. It's a 2-page spread. Yeah. And it's an hourly thing. There's a lot of room to write on here. Like you don't need to have micro pen to write in here. But so every week we have a focus. So whatever it is you want to focus on, if it's gratitude, if it's action, results, health, promos, anything, right? Anything life or business. And then I have some affirmation kind of things for you to fill out, some manifestation. What are you manifesting this week? And of course, checklists. And then when we get into the weekly stuff, now the way I coach my entrepreneurs, my ladies, is to use their life, not their live, like going live video, but using their lives as their content, using how their business and life flow together to complement each other instead of constantly working against each other. So in the planner, it's like a desktop coach that will have you planning out all this stuff you're doing during the day. And then right at the bottom, I have the theme. So what is kind of the theme of all the stuff you have going on that day? And that's what you can present on social media, or that's what you can include in your blog or your newsletters. And so it kind of gives you a focus so that when you go live or when you go to do your Facebook posts or Instagram or whatever, you don't have to worry about not having content because you're pulling your content out of your life, out of your day. And then I have here to track your mood and your self-care, and then tracking your successes throughout the week. So what worked? What topics did your audience like? What networking worked? Who did you meet that you want to, write down and remember? And it goes like that throughout the entire week. But then I have a box on this side that's for redesign. So that's things that maybe didn't work that well. You didn't captivate the right audience with that theme. You didn't get the right kind of responses. So kind of redesign and keep that in mind. to either approach it differently next time or to not do it again. Really. So it goes like that for 18 months. It's an 18-month planner. So it's a year and a bit. But other things it has that other planners may not is the monthly focus thing. So it has what are you focusing on for the month for yourself, your family, and your business, and then important days and birthdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a monthly focus, and then you kind of like dive in further every week with your weekly focus. And it goes one step further and into daily action. And I don't have that in the planner. When I got the planner sample, I was including it as a separate booklet, but it's going to be included right in the planner now. And these sheets, I did a big walkthrough on my profile for this yesterday, but they're going to be full-size sheets, but they have daily action so that you're not just setting your goal and forgetting about it. And I know a lot of times, like we look for flow in manifestation. We want to make sure everything lines up for us. Hey, Jay, I just saw Jay log in. Anyway, I keep jibber jabbering, but this
awesome.
book, it makes sure that you are doing those things that are important to get you to your goals. So it's not a separate book though. It's just going to be a sheet. But you're taking action towards your business goal, towards your personal goals. It even has tracking how you're feeling, like at the bottom here. Like how do you feel, body and soul? What physical activity have you done? And then at the bottom to track what you're eating and water intake. Water intake. So it has like everything that you need just to be sure that you're taking the action that you need to get within your life to reach your goals. And so it's all in one glorious book. There's a bunch of note pages on there, but they're note pages. I don't know if you guys really want to see it.
Awesome.
I'll show you.
Well, I love it, Leslie. I think this is so cool.
Notes.
Yeah. Well, like I need any more places to write my notes.
Yeah. But if they can all be in one spot, like why not, right?
You know how people will say, well, they're organized chaos, like I know exactly where everything is in that pile and whatever. That's me. I'm like, okay, because I love legal pads. I'm a huge fan of legal pads. And so like, I'll be like, hand me the third legal pad down, the blue one, and because that's where that is, it's just, it's, so I like your system.
Thanks.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about flow, girlfriend.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So as an entrepreneur myself, I, and having done this now for a while, because in the beginning, it was way more chaotic, flow was not really something that I was friends with in the very beginning. And so let's talk about how, like, kind of in the beginning a little bit, and what are some of the things that can help people who are right now, like, don't have support staff, they don't have a VA, they're doing everything on their own, and everything is super crazy. Like, we're afraid of dropping balls, like that was me anyway. Like, I was always sort of like, having to do all the things all the time because I'm going to drop a ball, it's going to be the end of the world or whatever else. So what advice do you have for people when they're first, like, in their first overwhelm in the business?
It's not going to be the last one, is my advice. It's not going to stop. But what I do recommend is, if you're just starting, find how and make sure that you're doing something that suits you. And you'll hear this so often, and it'll be a bit of a pain in the ass, because you'll hear people who've been doing this for a while say the same things, like, you just have to keep showing up, and things happen exactly the way they're supposed to happen. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, and you're just like, shut up, it's not where I want to be. And you're like, you want the next step and you want the next step, but it's so funny, but not funny, haha. It's so funny how the world works, or how the universe works, or how God works, or whatever you're into, because things will come to you when it's the right time. And I said this thing on a live the other day, and I shared it as a meme. I created my own meme with some pictures from the garden, and it was don't force a flower to bloom. Like, don't force the petals open. Once
Yeah,
everything
don't.
is
I just
developed
heard that the
inside,
other day. Yeah,
yeah.
don't pull the.
Once
That's funny, isn't
the
it?
yeah, like once everything's ready on the inside, the flower will bloom itself. Like, if you force it open, it will die.
Right.
So even if you fail, and even if you think this is the next best thing, everybody in the world needs this. I know at least 800 people who could use this today. They might not know yet that they need it, and it might not be the right time for them, and it might not
Yeah.
be the right time for you. And I even last year, I had been coaching for 2 years already. I launched a retreat, and I was like, this is the most glorious retreat that anybody in the world would want to come to. And I had 4 people register, and I needed at least 6 people for it to happen. Like, it was a lot of freaking work. I put a lot of work into it and months of advertising it, and it didn't work. And that's fine. And that's fine, because I'll straight up tell you guys, I've been getting messages from people this last week asking me to host a retreat. So next time that I do it, it will work. And that is going to be the right time for my audience, for my clients, and for me probably, because I'm more solidified in where I live, because we're hosting it at my house. Like, our house is more developed. I'm more familiar with the trails. I'm more familiar with my planner and my business stance, I guess, in how I'm coaching and why I'm coaching this way. It will be 10 times better than it would have been last year when I do it
That is
again,
so
right?
true. That is so true. We in the beginning, we see that people are watching us, or we don't have as much interaction, but we know the people, we know the views on our videos, and we know whatever, and it can be really discouraging in the beginning because people aren't as vocal. They're not as apt to come out and like talk on your posts and all of that stuff in the beginning, and so my advice is just keep going and just realize that the people that are watching you aren't necessarily the people that are commenting on your stuff or that are liking your things. And,
Yeah,
the online space can be a little bit discouraging in the beginning,
yeah,
because,
yeah,
and we do expect a lot. And we see the other coaches, having 5-figure months and all of this stuff. And so, also, not to get necessarily caught up in the comparison game, because that was something that I think kind of sucked too much of my energy in the beginning, that now I look back and I go, oh, I don't know why I did that,
yeah,
because we want everything now. We want to have it all successful right now. We want to be making big money and having clients just, calling us all the time, right? But so,
yeah,
yeah. So, retreat, that's exciting.
yeah. It's not even
Lots
in
of
the works
retreat
yet.
stuff. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but that's how it works though. It
Yeah,
really, I'll have an idea about something and it'll be 6 months to 8 months later that I actually, it's the right time,
yeah,
I get re-inspired, and then it's
yeah,
always better. The content's always better, when it is in flow. So,
yeah.
um, yeah.
So I think,
So, yeah, go ahead.
like, that, to keep going and really understand that it just might not be the right time, but that you're not wrong. And I feel like whenever someone is given an idea, a purpose, or a passion, to move forward with, and that they want to share with the world, it's because it needs to be shared with the world. It's because somebody needs to hear it, and not just one person. Like, out of 7 billion, there's far more than one person who needs to hear what you've been through, and where you're going, right? Everybody has a different spin on messages and on coaching and on organization. Like, the way I do things, won't work for everyone, and I'm fine with that. And the way that I get my clients to balance things, and everyone hates balance, the word balance, like, oh, balance is impossible to reach. And it is. And some people and organizers out there go for the 50-50 balance, or the 33-33-33 balance, like the perfect balance. But what you need to do is just find out what works with you. So if you're running a business, it should be because you love it. Like, you love the product, you love your service, you're passionate about the message that you want to share, about the paintings that you paint, or the makeup that you put on, and how it improves your life. And it should improve your life. And that's what you're sharing with people. So if you hop into I'm not going to pick on MLMers. Most of my clients are MLMers, okay? And I am involved in some because I buy the products because they're good products. But if an opportunity to get rich, that's not necessarily going to work for you, because it should be something that you're really passionate about, that you're really excited about, and work it into your life. Don't have your life here and then your goal life here and your business over here. It all needs to go together, like all the planets in the galaxy kind of thing. They all float around together. And that's the kind of balance that you need to create. There's obviously going to be times that you need to sit down and work on your business, and there's going to be times that you put your phone away and you go swimming with the kids. Like, there's always going to be those times, but together they all make up you. Like, they all make up your energy, they all make up your life. It's not life and then business, it's life and business. It's all just the one thing. And so finding that balance, and it could be you focus 80% on your family, 20% on your business. That's fine. Living your life will get you to where you want to go if you're truly living it and truly focusing on where you want to be, who you want to be, how you want to show up in life and business. So that flow is another step too.
Because like in my business, if I am being super masculine, right? So I'm doing all the things and I'm checking them off my checklist and whatever else, I inevitably will get to a point where I have like writer's block, where I get to that point where I'm like, oh, what am I going to talk about today? I don't know. It's not written on my checklist. What am I going to do? And so then it's when I start spending, I refocus, reshift onto my family, let's say, and start doing stuff with them. Then I have content, because then I'm like, okay, because I'm a holistic coach, so my postings have to do with being outdoors with my family and doing, fun things with them or whatever else. But also, let's talk a little bit about self-care in this, and how when we're out of flow, especially shifting into a self-care mode for me, like reading my Course in Miracles or meditating, or a lot of those, like the internal work, is where my best content comes from, and I'm sure that you can probably relate to this as well. So what about, how does, do you find that with self-care as well? And I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And it's funny because I always say, much like gratitude, when you start with a little bit of self-care, you find more and more time to incorporate it. And and you need less and less of it, if that makes sense. So you might be at a point where you have been busting your tail for months and you're exhausted and you can't even pick up the bags from under your eyes with a freaking car jack. And then you're like, okay, now I need a spa day. I need to like hide in a freaking cave in Mexico for 5 months to be able to get through this. And I see that happen quite often with a lot of coaches who are successful. Like, what my idea of success, they're living the life, they're like sipping on the sippy drinks, and they're fancy ass big well-known coaches, and they'll disappear for a little bit. And it's like, well, she hasn't posted in a while. And then it will come back, they'll come back and be like, sorry, I was gone, guys. I've really been out of alignment. I needed to set back. I needed to do this. But I find with myself even, um, I sit out on the porch in the morning and let the kids play in the yard, and I just sit. And actually yesterday I brought like a foot soak basin out there with me. And I was just sipping on my coffee, soaking my feet on a porch, like just those little things that just kind of bring you back, that just kind of like take care of you for a minute. And when you do things like go to bed early, or when you meditate before bed, or you do some sort of exercise or stretching, or even a focused like journaling session, and I will wake up in the morning and have a million ideas of what I want to do with my business, or what my clients might need, or doing a challenge. Like I have a challenge in my group starting today that's just simply called Trust Your Vibe, to like go forward in your business relying on your gut and knowing that you are bringing your message, that you're being true to yourself in your business, in whatever business you're in, and going forward with that to find your tribe, not finding your tribe the way I found my tribe or the way you found your tribe, but trusting yourself that you can find your people on this planet with all of the resources that we have with social media and the internet. Like you can reach everyone in the world pretty well. And so that came to me just last week. I woke up in the morning and I was like, so many ideas, this is going to kick ass. And so like that kind of stuff just happens. And when you're in flow and when you're taking care of yourself, those ideas come, and they I don't want to say unravel because that kind of sounds negative, but they unfold, I guess, like effortlessly. They just happen and happen and happen. And that's when like the growth happens. That's when you meet people who get you and truly love what you're doing and the message that you're bringing forward. So
Right. Which goes back to doing what is authentic to you in your
yeah,
business as well and in life. If you're
yes,
doing things that are authentic to you and it feels good, you're naturally gonna be more in flow and
yeah.
I think anyway. Um,
And the work
but you're
will
the
feel
expert.
the work will feel less like work then too, right? So you're like
Right.
you don't need those huge breaks. You don't get way overwhelmed. Like I'm not going to say some days that I'm working my tail off because I am. And some days I'm just like, okay, I need to chill out today. Let's go to the lake. Like just on Sunday, I left my phone and we went to the lake and we were chilling out and I didn't check messages. Like the phone was in the van and I in the
Yeah.
minivan, and
Yep.
I was at the lake with the kids, and that was it. But
Yep.
it's just
It's
if
super
you
important, I think,
take care of
when
it
we're on
peacefully.
social media. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry for talking over you, but
I
when we're
know.
on social media all the time, it's like for me, it's important for me to not have my phone on me all the time. Like
Yeah,
summertime, and we're Pacific Northwest. I'm lucky because I can go in the mountains and not have service. Not have cell phone service. And so we do that a lot. You've probably seen, almost once a week I've been leaving town for a night, and just going out into the woods and going camping or whatever. And it is so rejuvenating. So then when I come back, I don't feel that overwhelm anymore. I feel like I'm ready to kick ass and, like
yeah,
jump in with both feet, and get some stuff done or whatever. But I also found that last night when I was feeling a little bit burnt out, I was doing the tasks, that go along with what I love doing. And so I was thinking about how when I feel that way, how much slower I go, and how much longer it takes me to get things done when I just am not feeling it. Um, and so, and that is all, in everything in my life, everybody's life probably, you get burnt out, and then it's like, how long, and this is something that we teach our kids too, or I homeschooled this year with my son, and so teaching him, if you just if you just do it in a shorter amount of time, then you're not bummed out for hours because you're doing this or whatever. So last night I was kind of reminding myself of this, like, Dre, just, and I actually ended up doing the stuff that had to be done and then putting the rest of it till the morning, because I was like, it's going to take me twice as long if I sit here and make myself do it right now, because I
Yeah.
just knew I was tuned out. So,
Yeah. And when you can do that, like have the focus on things that need to be done, then all of a sudden, and I always mention things like don't let the mess be the boss of you. Like don't let all those things pile up so that you end up spending an entire day trying to catch up on doing like an entire day full of shit that you don't want to do.
yeah.
Whereas, like, if you can space that stuff out and stay on top of it, so like you don't wait to do the laundry for when you have no clean underwear, or you don't wait to wash the dishes when you're like, we don't even have a fork. So if you stay on top of it, you don't get to that point of falling behind. And the same thing goes for, email sequences, things for like Facebook posts or anything else that you're doing to grow your business. If you run out of stuff and then you're sitting there being like, well, what the hell am I going to post? What am I going to talk about? I need to write 5 more emails for this email sequence. I need to do all these things. But if you can just work at those tasks, those activity kind of things, they'll be done and out of the way. And you won't even have to think about them anymore. And you can just sit down for like 5 minutes, look at what you did throughout the day in your lavish life planner, and look at what you did throughout the day and have your themes and have your content and look and see what worked for your audience and what can you turn into a monthly newsletter or what can you turn into a blog. And you'll have all of the things that you've done, all the things that your audience loved sitting right there in front of your face. So you don't need to rely on your brain that might be mushy, or your brain that if your kid was up teething all night that you can't even process a thought the next day. But you
Well,
don't
and
have to rely on the brain to do it.
yeah, and from a value perspective, you know, you are putting out such better content when you're fresh and able to be in flow and sort of get your guidance, on what you're saying and whatever. Because you can tell in the emails that we get from people, you can tell when it was just rushed through, or if it was, or if it was a lot of thought that went into, the content. And so for me, and that's another thing, over the few years that I've been in the online business, that I've learned is, not to waste so much time on content that isn't valuable, and it used to be, I've got to have my 3 to 5 posts a day, and and so then you're scrambling for ideas, and oh, that meme looks cool, I think I'll put that on there or whatever, instead of skipping that stuff, and when you actually have something to say, saying it,
Right.
and and even if it's 1 post a day, but it's really amazing, you get way better traction and have way more interaction, than if
Yeah.
you're just posting, stuff that people can see on anybody's wall.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think that switch is important too. And actually Facebook, if you're using Facebook as your business platform, they made that switch. Like they, within the algorithm, made that switch. So those
yep.
posts that you share and he shares and she shares and everybody shares and you get a bunch of likes, or the GIF or the GIF dance off things, those things don't count anymore.
Right.
Doing things like, you know, if you're trying to get traction by getting a whole bunch of one-word answers on stuff, like having those little games where everybody
Yeah.
types their favorite emoji or their favorite this, that stuff actually lowers your quality rating,
Yep.
because conversations aren't happening and the algorithm picks up on that. I'm just like getting way techy here, but the algorithm picks up on that and it sees that you just have low quality content with low quality answers and low quality responses, and it flags you as low quality.
Yep.
So that is not the goal. And I know so many people in business do it. And you have to
Oh, I know.
tell
I know. But
everyone.
you know,
Tell
but
everyone.
doing it the other way, I've seen that my posts that have, a lot of content and are engaging, for days or weeks, people
Yeah.
are still seeing that. People are
Yeah.
still commenting on that and still coming back and liking and whatever else. Where before the algorithms changed, that was not the case. You would definitely only see people for like 1 to 2 days on a post,
Yeah.
and then it would just sort of be lost. And so now I see that Facebook is continually showing those posts for quite a while afterwards. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely don't waste your time on things that don't matter to you, because it's not authentic to you. You're not attracting the people that you want to be attracting, and just skip that stuff. Put your time into things that people want to actually talk about and hear about, and real world issues and stuff. And
Yeah.
that's also, maybe we should talk a little bit about sales and sales posts, that are just blatant. Here's my offer, and I do those sometimes. I'm not gonna, I'm not saying not to ever, post your offers, because people have to know what you're offering. Um,
Yeah.
but you want to talk a little bit about strategy on that?
Yeah, sure. And I think that too is all about um, focusing on your life. Focus on your life and the things that you want to be doing, and bringing it into your business, or bringing your business to it. Meet them together. Because when you are showing people one thing, and then like, okay, let's say, for instance, I'm doing, I don't know. Let's say I show myself. I'm not picky on anybody. I love karaoke. I'm actually a huge karaoke junkie. But let's say I show myself out, like drinking the beers at karaoke, eating like the roasted barbecue peanuts every night, and I'm doing like all this stuff. And then tomorrow, after you seeing like 3 weeks of me being destructive to my health, tomorrow I launch a health challenge. People will be like, like, what is this? No thanks. And so it's almost like when you work in flow, and the way that I get my clients to work, and the way that everything I do is set up for, is that I'm constantly, because everything is meshed together, like it's this galaxy of Leslie.
Right, exactly.
It's just
Love it.
I'm outside with the kids. I'm doing all the things that I would be doing in my ideal life. If I were to
Right.
picture my ideal life, I'm pretty much doing it now. I don't have a boat yet, but I will. And so I'm doing those things, right? Like you're making space for the stuff that you want to be showing up as. And so
Right.
when you say, this is what my offer is, people are like, well, yeah, we know you're all about that. And when you do offers, and this is like a fact, another techie thing. I'm like tech and flow. People need to see your offers, your solution, your product, your services 21 times before it clicks with them and they want to buy, or they ask you questions about it. So if you're doing like point A, where you're living this life but you're selling that product, that's going to get missed by so many people. Whereas if you're selling that product and living that life, they'll see it in every post that you do. Your sales hashtags will also be pertinent to your life hashtags. And when you
Right.
get it all in flow, it's like your life is your business is your life. There's no real shock and no real change or difference in copy or images or whatever it is when you have those sales posts. And so they won't
Which
be
is
so offensive.
which is the trust portion, right? Of the know, like, trust. They
Yeah.
If people don't trust that you're going to get them results, but you're trying to coach, then you're not going to have people signing up. You're not going to have people that are willing to pay, and invest in you, if they're not seeing it in your life. You know, like I couldn't be
Yeah.
a health and, you know, a holistic health coach if I didn't believe in it, you know, but people try to do that, you know, and you see, and you know, not to harp on the network marketing, but some network marketing businesses make that pretty easy for people, you know, to step into an online business. And so I
Yeah.
see that unbalance with, especially with newer people who are in the health, you know, health, or, you know, I'm not going to go into specifics, but people that they kind of hop on the diet bandwagon, the fad diets or the whatever else, and they want to start selling this as a, you know, whatever, but they've only been healthy for like a month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's hard in that much time to build up a know, like, trust with people if you're doing
Yeah.
that. And so even in the beginning, you know, I'm passionate about a lot of different things. They all have to do with holistic health and women's empowerment. But that's a broad, you know, that's a really broad niche, right? And so in the beginning, and I still do all the things, but now I've gained that sort of, people know me, you know, like the people that, you know, in the beginning it was like I did fitness in my studio, and then I moved to, and I did nutrition and fitness and weight loss, but then I wanted to switch into holistic, which is different than just the personal training type of a thing or whatever. And
Yeah.
so it's been a gradual process, but I've always stayed true to what I'm passionate about, and I think that has made people trust that they know what they're going to get from me. You know, they know that
Yeah.
this is what you're going to get, and so, which is same with you. You know, same with you. Like your
Yeah.
girls, they know what they're going to get, and that's why they sign up with you. They know that, you know, you're going to get them results, and this is how you're going to do it. And so, do you have any? You mentioned you have a challenge starting, so tell
Yeah.
us about that. That's starting today, right?
Yeah, it starts today, like this afternoon. Because it's almost noon here, I think. I have no clock in
It
this
is,
room.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
something like that.
So it
Wow, it really
starts
is.
today. The free challenge it's just a free focus week. I actually called it Trust Your Vibe Mastery because it's just about getting back to who you are, why you wanted to be in business or why you're working towards whatever goals it is. And I find so many people follow so many coaches and webinars and different methods, and it gets messed up. It gets messed up. I have some clients who have signed up for my course who have been like I don't even know where I am in this anymore. Like I hear this coach, I hear that coach, but I don't hear me, right?
Right.
And I'm getting goosebumps. And when I was talking to my girls in my group about it this morning, I cried. So I'm going to try not to. But it's so effing important. Oh, thank you, Crystal. It's so effing important to trust yourself, to hear what other people have to say, write it down in your lavish life planner or whatever, and just remember who you are, what you want for your life. And I keep telling stories. I've had people who travel all the time, like nomads or digital nomads, they call themselves. That's not my dream, okay? Like it's
Right.
somebody's dream. It's not my dream. Some people like to go hunting. I don't. Some people like little dogs. I have a Great Dane. Everybody has their thing. And because I don't travel constantly, does not mean that I'm not successful. Because you want to live in an apartment in Manhattan instead of a house in the country with horses in the backyard does not mean that you're not successful. Everybody has their ideas of success, and stay true to that, or you're working towards a goal you don't even fucking want. It drives me nuts.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
that's
Well,
what this challenge
I
is
have a good
about.
story. I have
Yeah.
our dryer broke, and so, and it
Yeah.
was the summertime. It was summertime. This was last summer. Our dryer broke, and so we were hanging for like a week because we were just super busy, and we had got back from camping, had all this stuff to wash. So we started hanging our clothes on the line, you know,
Yeah.
outside. And my mother-in-law ended up bringing us money to pay to fix our dryer because we hadn't fixed it yet. We didn't care. We actually kind of were liking. We still to this day now hang our clothes outside sometimes because we just like it. We like the action of it and the feel of it and the smell of it and just all of it. But yeah, so like at that point, I kind of realized my neighbors probably think that this is a money issue as well. But that's so true. We do. We have our things that we just prefer. Yeah. So don't judge. Don't think that we know what's going on with people behind the scenes. Yeah.
But that's what this challenge is about. Is to get back to.
What do they have to do? Do they just join your group, right?
Yeah, pretty much just join my group. There are worksheets and like notifications that are going out so you can register. And I just did a bit.ly link. It's bit.ly/yourvibe. But that's in my group too. So you can just jump in the group and then register if you want to. But yeah, other than that, like I have a course starting at the end of this month, which is a complete entrepreneurial course to start your business or get back to your business and schedule everything in flow. Make sure your priorities make sense, that the actions that you're doing make sense, and that you can build something sustainable. We're getting into everything that you need to set up a business, like websites, social media pages, search engine optimizations, all like creating your own online academy if that's what you want, email sequences if that's what you want, how to go live, how to do all of the things. It's like a crash course business to get it working in flow with like a natural balance. And so I'm bringing in like all the guns for this course. And it's a beta course. It's the first time I've run a complete course like this. So I'll be offering it again, but it's $325, and you get a copy of the planner too. So it's $325, and we're gonna have one-on-one calls too. So It's kind of insane. But I have 1.5 spots left. Hey Sabina, we have 1.5. 1.5, just because one of our girls is starting a few weeks in because she's going to be in Croatia when we start. So yeah, I have 1.5 spots left for that one. But that starts in a couple weeks. But right now, we have the Trust Your Vibe challenge going.
Awesome. That's so awesome. I love it because I've noticed a lot of the people, like the techie business coaches that I used to follow or have, are now, they've kind of shifted gears. And so I like that you're doing some of the techie stuff as well, that you're wrapping that in, because sometimes I'm like, because they're doing like manifestation, or they're doing, like they've sort of shifted gears on how they teach now. And I love the manifestation work, but at times I'm kind of like, well, yeah, but I want to know the things. What about the funnels? And, and how should I order my email sequences? And, when should I drop this info? And you know what I mean? And so I like that you're walking them through that as an inflow program, because it really is. It takes all the nuts and bolts to make it happen. It's not, you have to know what you're doing in order to be in flow. So you need the real stuff too. So awesome. I have got my programs that I'm launching right now. I have a free nutrition one going on, so I'll drop the link for that. That's just a 3-day. We're on day 2 right now. Glitchy. But anyway, and then August 1st, I'm starting a 20-week, a 5-month intensive.
Oh wow!
And that. Yeah, because it's a whole nutrition. We work our mindset as well as do a gut repair. It's a very intensive nutrition program, specifically for people with autoimmune issues and stuff. So cool. That's August 1st. But yeah, so that's what I have going on, and I guess that's about it. We went way over, but we can get chatty, so that's how it happens.
I know, crazy.
That's okay. That's how it happens. So much to talk about all the time. So if you guys want to join her group, I'll drop that link. I already put a link up earlier, but I'll put another link on this post for sure, so that you guys can hop in her group, and then get registered for that, so that you get the supporting documents that go with her free program this week. So, all right, Leslie, have a wonderful day. Hi, Sabine. Hi, everybody. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a great day.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.